We got a couple, Eric, myself, and it is pretty crazy that we only have like 7 or 8 games left in
I
the
know.
NBA season,
What
right?
happened?
And like from a gambling perspective, the slate, it's it's whatever, but it's just from a like what's going on in the NBA today. 6 of these games have playoff implications. We've got the 2 number 1 seeds playing against each other in Philly and Phoenix. We've got the Lakers versus New Orleans, which is basically a play-in preview right now.
Mhm.
The Lakers are a half game up on New Orleans, and the Spurs are right behind New Orleans.
Right.
And so all 3 of these teams are trying to get into 2 spots. You've got Charlotte, Brooklyn, which are the 8 and 9 spots. Hell, if Charlotte were to win today, they would be right there in the 8th spot, and they would have an opportunity to maybe have to play one less game to try to get in. Utah, Dallas would actually be a preview of the 4-5 series. If the
Right.
season ended today, those 2 teams would play each other. Boston still has a chance to get the 1 seed. Minnesota, they're trying to get the 6 seed so they don't have to get into a play-in game. And the Warriors, they're just trying to get right. So Kyle, I have a couple gambling plays, but there's a lot still to
Yeah.
decide at this point of the year compared to prior years, right?
Right. And I don't know about you guys, but this happens to me where, especially like when you're focusing on DFS a lot and you're doing daily bets and prop bets, you kind of lose track of the standings, right? You look and you're like, oh,
100%.
you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this team's fucking in it now.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
this
like
team's out
Boston
of
in
it.
particular, like the
Right.
Celtics, you're like,
Came
they're
out
a
of nowhere.
half game out
Yeah.
of the 1 seed right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
What?
And I got to ask you, do you like the little wind resistant thing in front of I have that, but I've never used it. Do you think I should use it? What do you think? Do you notice a difference?
It's okay, because what I end up noticing? Like, I move all over the place
Yeah.
a lot. So sometimes I get up in here, and then I'm up in here, I'm up in here. So I never know, but I do pop. I pop quite a bit. I guess with my P's, I pop. So it helps me
Helps with the
somewhat. I think
pop.
it directs the audio
I
in
think I
there.
need to put it on now so I look fucking official
So
like
I was
Gino.
gonna
Now I'm
say,
jealous. Now I'm
yeah, I was
fucking
gonna say
jealous.
now I shamed you. I Mike shamed you. You
I
see
have
what
an
I'm saying?
ego issue. My
See what
ego
I did
is
there?
there's something fucking wrong with it. You know
Mike
what I mean?
shaming over there.
But
Eric, my friend, how are things going over on Baby Watch for you today?
You know what? Still haven't come. I've abandoned ship. I just got back into Illinois. So, she's on her own. I
only so much you could do. Yeah.
You know what? I could
enjoy this. Go golfing. This is the last time you're ever gonna enjoy your life, Eric. Just like you may as well fucking do it right now because the rest of your life is fucking over. I hope you know that.
My sister yelled at me because I let my 9-year-old nephew watch Big Mama's House 2. She said it was inappropriate. I think it's a cinematic classic, but I don't know. It is what it is. So
we're going to try to find you all a couple winners today in the NBA. So Kyle, wow, I got to give it up to you. You were rolling. Was it like 15-1 or 2?
15-3. I had a good week picking the NBA. Not bad.
That's a great week. That's a great week.
And you know what they say? A broken clock is right twice a day. So I can't take all the credit for that. You never know.
That was more than a broken clock right there. But what's like I said, it's always what have you done for me lately? That's what I love about you. You're going to come back out the next day ready to fire and not dwell on what you've done well. But it is nice when you're doing well, you feel good, right? You just feel like what you're looking at the right stuff. You're seeing the ball well. It gives you that confidence.
Yeah.
When you dive
well, it helps you sleep too. You definitely sleep better.
Puts a few extra bucks in your pocket, right?
Puts a few extra bucks in your pocket.
Puts better food in your mouth.
Better food in, but I just sleep better. I'm like, I don't have to worry about seeing. There's something about, like I said, I have major ego issues. I have alpha male complex out the fucking ass. So I like being right, hate being wrong. So it certainly helps me sleep. It was a nice week. Things went my way. A lot of close sweats. I mean, I got lucky a couple times. And look, you're not going to have a week like that without getting lucky a few times. And it certainly bounced my way. So it can go the other way. So that's why you can't get too high, too low. You just got to keep at it and follow your process and hope that you finish over 60%, right?
Okay, Kyle, take us to where you want to head for one of your plays today.
This one's a little bit different. A rebound under prop. It's kind of different here. Charlotte, Brooklyn, PJ Washington, his number's at 4.5. You get it under 4.5 at plus 110. When you look at his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games, he's gone under 5 rebounds in 6 of those 8 games. And when you sort of look at this matchup, I know it's a back-to-back for Brooklyn, but I do think he struggled. Drummond should be able to give him some trouble on the inside, as well as Kevin Durant. If he's forced to be out there on Durant at his position, he's going to find himself on the perimeter more than not. So I'm taking the under 4.5 rebounds. That's kind of different. I don't do that a lot. I actually have 2 rebound under props today, which is pretty strange.
I like it. I like it.
Under 4.5 rebounds plus 110 for PJ Washington.
Whatever jumps out to you, that's where we're going to go. Speaking of a rebound prop, well, there was one guy in particular that I really wanted to target today based on just the lineup that they're going to be playing. So for Boston, they've already announced that Al Horford's going to be out today, which just means that you're going to be getting a lot more Robert Williams. So I think there are a couple Robert Williams props that I would be fine targeting. Points, normally you think of rebounds, but points is only 10.5 for him, right? So that's like 3 rebound putbacks or 1 or 2 alley-oops. We're not talking about 15 or 20 points for a guy who just is going to be getting more minutes now without Horford. 2, the rebounds is 10.5. I think that's also one you could target. And blocks,
I went under those rebounds. That's the one I went under.
Oh, there you go. And blocks. See, but I like the points more than the rebounds.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I like the points and even the blocks. The blocks at 2.5, I don't mind. So Robert Williams, the 10.5 points is the one I'm targeting because I just feel more opportunity. No Horford out there. You're going to get a few more putbacks. You're going to get a couple more oops. And I do think just the way that this matchup is, give me Robert Williams over the 10.5 points. But that leads us, Eric, while we already mentioned the other one, we'll get to yours in a second. You're going to go under on the Robert Williams rebounds, Kyle.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to cut Eric off the reason.
No, go ahead, but it makes sense. We're talking about this game, so go ahead now.
Yeah. So the points I think makes a ton of sense because Karl Anthony Towns is one of the worst defenders of all time to ever grace an NBA court.
And he's not tough either.
He's not tough at all.
No.
And you know, he's going to be, like you said, the opportunity for putbacks are going to be there because he loves to play out on the perimeter. So those offensive rebounds or defense, you know, et cetera, will be there on the offensive end. He's going to be stretched out.
That's why I didn't like the rebound one because he may not get the rebounds.
Right. He's not. And he's won in his last 8 games. He's gone under 11 rebounds in 7 of those 8 games. And now you're getting a plus number under 10.5 rebounds. He's only done it once in his last 8 games. So that number doesn't dictate what's been actually going on. And again, I think he will be out on the floor. You know, Towns is going to try to take those 3-point shots since he won the 3. He thinks he's, you know, he thinks he's the new Steph fucking Curry, which you're not. I think Robert Williams, I like him over the points, 10.5. I 100% agree, but under the 10.5 rebounds at plus money.
Okay, Eric, take us to one of your plays for today.
So on days like today, I like to look deep. And I found a player prop that I think is a little under the radar. This player has gone over the prop 5 out of the last 5 games, 8 out of the last 10 games, and he's playing a team that's a little banged up on the front line. I went with Isaiah Stewart over 7.5 points. I like this match for the Knicks are a little banged up. You know, I like it. It's that 3:30 game. Everyone's talking NCAA. Everyone's looking at the Laker Pelicans game later. I'm getting a little slimy with that. Also, staying in that game, Pistons are quietly 13-2-2 against the spread in their last 17.
I played them. That's my other play today. I played the Pistons plus the points.
Yep, I got the Pistons plus the points.
Look at that.
Casey has them playing very competitive. Knicks are coming off that game against Miami, but I think that
Randall.
Speaks more. Yep, I think that speaks more to the issues that Miami has. Plus, the Knicks, they have a game tomorrow night, which has a little bit more playoff implication to it. So I like the Pistons, and I got them at +4.
I got the 4.5. I locked them in last night right away too. So this was one I was excited to tell you about it being a Pistons guy. I figured that you would love. These are the kind of plays that I like, right? You have 2 teams that nobody thinks the Knicks are good. They've underachieved this year. The Knicks aren't going to get up for this game at Detroit, and Detroit actually will get up for this game. They just want to play well. They've got a young group that is trying to get minutes and trying to feel better about who they are moving forward. Eric mentioned their numbers ATS. Hell, they're 20-17 at home against the spread. They're 40-34 overall against the spread. If you just blindly bet Detroit against the spread this year, they're a positive team. And I locked them in plus 4.5 at home against the Knicks. So that's my second play.
outside of like super hot Asian strippers, few things give me a hard on than these like deep diving peripheral props. Isaiah
They're
Stewart
so-
7.5 prop. I literally went from 6 to noon. I love
It's
shit
so
like that.
great.
It just gets me excited every time.
They remind me of like the quarterback rushing props.
Mhm.
You know, like Beho and I would love getting into those this year. It'd be like Matt Stafford over 2.5 rushing
Yeah.
yards, you know,
Tom Brady over half a yard. You're
Over
like,
half.
Come on, you son of a bitch.
and what's so funny is that there's no real rhyme or reason to it other than just like, but I would like to dig into like what the defenses do against running quarterback, even on like a small rushing prop like that. I'd like to get as deep as we could with it. So Eric and I diving deep into the Pistons game today.
Love it.
I have one more play. Do either of you guys have anything else out there?
I got a couple.
I got
more.
one. I got
Okay,
one more.
Kyle, go ahead. Eric, we'll go with you after, and then I'll finish it up. Go for it, Kyle.
I'm going to go with the Klay Thompson over 3.5 threes, minus 115. Now, he's only done it in 4 of the last 7 games, so it's not like it's this crazy, 8 out of 10, 9 of 11 type streak. But when you just look at the attempts, so we know Steph Curry's out, right? We know Washington stinks defensively on every level from perimeter to the interior. But look at his attempts in his last 6 games. 14, 12, 11, 12, 7, and 16 attempts from the three-point line. You're telling me I can't take one of the greatest three-point shooters all the time to hit 4 of those? I'll take the over 3.5 minus 115. It has a lot to do with Washington's defense, the lack of Steph Curry. And I was encouraged the other day. He played 40 minutes in that last game against Atlanta, took 16 threes. If they're going to start allowing him to shake that rust off and play his full allotment of minutes, he's going to take double-digit attempts. I think he can hit 4 of them. And this is one, he could honest to God do that in the first half. If he has a shooting night like he had the other night, you might be having your feet up in the first half.
And that has to be their goal right now over the next few weeks, because they're not in the 2 spot anymore. They're pretty secure, like in the 3-4 range. They're going to be probably 3. Now, they got to get Klay right. If Klay's not right going into the playoffs, even if they have Curry and Draymond, they need all 3 of those guys to be at as close to 100% or as close to giving them their A-level games as possible. Otherwise, like, they don't have enough size. Like, they that's their advantage. They're not a big team, so they have to be really efficient, really quick, awesome defensively, switchy and stuff like that. So if 1 or 2 of those things isn't there, they're in some serious trouble. That's one to keep an eye on today. Eric, tell us where you want to head for one of your plays.
At this part of the season, I like targeting first half unders for teams that are battling or jockeying for playoff position. And that brings me to Lakers Pelicans. I found it at under 118.5. Pelicans coming off a back-to-back. BI is going to be a game time decision.
I was about to say, you're not playing the Lakers, right? But no. I wouldn't want to. But I couldn't really play against them on the back-to-back either. So it would be like a weird
and possibly
game.
no McCollum too.
Too. So the lines moved. They opened up at Lakers plus 4.5. I'm looking at it right now. It's down to plus 2.5. That leads me to think that probably McCollum is out. So instead of tackling a side, I'll just take the first half under 118.5.
I like that. Now, I'm going to attack one of the other games with playoff implications today. So yesterday we saw Brooklyn Miami's got some problems right now. Right. Jimmy Butler's trying to fight.
Udonis Haslem will fuck somebody up.
I know.
He's got thug written all over him. He does not mess around. He will stomp on you, Jimmy Butler.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Just whoever got that video of on your phone on the camera, thank you so much for doing that, because hearing Spoelstra say, "You want me to fight you?" Like, say that. I'm not going to fight you. It was so funny. I was dying. It was I
have a friend that works for the Heat, so I have some inside stories to that. And I have a couple stories I can share, a couple of them I can't. But one of them, the first time Spoelstra and Butler met, he comes into the room. He starts going, "We need to do this, 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 this." Spoelstra pulls out his championship ring and goes, "As soon as you get one of these, I will consider." That's what he said. Consider what you are saying. He literally gives
So I
Two
just have to ask: is one of these inside stories about Jimmy Butler banging Rachel Nichols in the hotel room in the bubble, or no?
No, I'll say no comment to that.
I'm just saying.
I'll say no comment to that. But
I'm just saying.
yeah, I mean, but Spoelstra, and then there's a story circling around when LeBron came in and started complaining about stuff. Spoelstra turned around on the whiteboard and wrote Pat Riley's cell phone on the board and said, "Hey, if you have an issue, just call this number." I mean, like the dude literally gives zero F's.
Yeah.
My buddy told me what happened was he got on Butler for not getting back on defense, and Butler snapped. And I mean, if you look at Butler's history, he had the history in Philly of going at Brown during the oh my god, the film sessions. So this is what this guy does. He doesn't like to be held accountable. I mean, they're done. I mean, I would be shocked if they won a playoff series right now. They're going to get upset.
It's so funny because they're the 1 seed and they feel complete. Like a week, 2 weeks before, you've got one of your best players and your coach like needing to be restrained on the sideline. That you wonder why Haslam is on the team. You don't wonder when you see that. Yep. That's why they pay that guy. That's his way or the highway over there. So all of this being said, I took like less away from the Brooklyn-Miami game about Brooklyn than I did about Miami, right? And to me, it's like, I think anybody who you put in maybe playing Miami last night probably would have gotten their way with them. But Brooklyn does have to come back from Miami, come home, and they have to play a Charlotte team that is 1 game behind them. I was able to get this at 6.5. And I think Charlotte will play close enough to keep this game within the number because Charlotte has everything in the world to play for right now. Charlotte knows, wouldn't you much rather have the option where you had 2 games to win 1 than when you have to win 2? Where Charlotte is right now, knowing that in the 9 spot, they got to win that game and then they'd have to go beat Brooklyn. Oh, if we're the 8, we could lose and then we have an opportunity to still get in. So I'm going to lean Charlotte in here. They've quietly been playing well. They've won 6 of their last 7. They just beat Utah. Brooklyn's coming off that back-to-back. I think Charlotte keeps this game close because they have something to play for. I'm leaning Charlotte. I locked them in at plus the 6.5 here. So scary because Brooklyn with Kyrie out there today. Kyrie seems like he's got that chip on his shoulder right now, and they've been offensively just fantastic. But yeah, I'm going to play against them on the back-to-back. I'm going to play Charlotte plus the 6.5.
Okay.
Anything else for you, fellas?
Go ahead, Eric.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Let me just ask you guys a question. If you saw something that had happened 13 of the last 17 games and 5 of the last 6 games, what would you expect the number to be when you're hitting those odds? You expect minus 185, minus 200?
And over minus 150 for sure.
Yeah, over minus 150 for sure, right? Donovan Mitchell has made 4 or more threes in 13 of his last 17 games, 5 of his last 6 games. I know Dallas is pretty good at defending the perimeter, number 1 against opposing point guards in terms of fantasy points allowed, etc. But Donovan Mitchell, you're getting his number over 3.5 at minus 110. They're acting like this is nearly even money when this guy is doing this at a massive clip. So for me, the number's wrong. The trends are there. And we talked about Klay Thompson's attempts. Let me just go through Donovan Mitchell's attempts if I can from the 3-point line. 11, 12, 15, 12, 15, 17, 11, 10, 11, 11, 14, 11, 12, 11.
Like that's one that he could hit again in the first quarter. Honestly, he can.
So, I'm taking the over 3.5 minus 110. I just think the number's wrong. He's done it 13 to 17 games, 5 of his last 6. The attempts will be there. Could be a close game. We know both teams have seeding considerations to play for. Donovan Mitchell over 3.5 threes minus 110 just makes too much sense.
Kyle, my friend. We will see you later on this evening on the Backdoor Cover, Sunday night's greatest show. You'll get some sports stuff, but mainly everybody just kind of letting loose, kicking back with a beer, feet up, end of the week, Sunday, what's been going on all
I get
week
to
long.
make fun of my girlfriend for a little while, so fun there,
what's moving forward. So that'll be a blast. Stay tuned for that every Sunday. Don't forget about the great promotion that we have and the t-shirt at oldsmokeclothing.com/BTV. I don't bet, I win. $32 to purchase. Hey, I'm sure some of us have helped you, lead you during NFL season, basketball season, college basketball season. Leo does a great job with tennis. If you were hanging out here, Eric has been rolling the last couple of weeks with NCAA tournament. If you've been following Kyle's stuff, DFS Bachelor, you've been cashing tickets. Help us out. Purchase one of those shirts. It's a cool shirt. It makes us look good with one of our partners. The promo code GINO will get you free shipping on your order there. So that'll save you $5 on top of that. And, the more we're able to succeed with some of these partners, we're able to move forward and get even bigger sponsors and do more free stuff and free giveaways for all of you out there. So it's a beautiful relationship there. Kyle, my friend, have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Good luck to you. Eric, buddy, thanks so much. Another great week. And I will be tuning in to the Backdoor Cover as I'm drinking and smoking later on tonight on my Sunday evening out here. Everyone, have a great rest of your weekend. March Madness continues on. And don't forget to flip those notifications